Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Unity's official live stream for the first show of 2024. We're starting this year off strong with another creator spotlight. If you don't already know, that's the show where we take a rare in-editor look at some incredible made with Unity games. For this creator spotlight, we're going to be talking to the devs behind the new Metroidvania game, Cookie Cutter. So that's developed by Subcult Games and published by Rogue Games. It's a visually stunning 2D hand-drawn adventure set in a dystopian world where you play as Cherry, an android who's out for some violent revenge on her way to save her creator. Today's going to be very art-focused, so to all the artists out there, whether you're an animator, concept artist, lighting artist, or sound designer, you're really not going to want to miss this one. It's not all just art, though. We're also going to dive into the business side of games. In particular, we'll be talking about the journey to find a publisher for this game. Before we introduce the game developers, let's play the trailer for Cookie Cutter.
My name is Cherry. I was built to entertain my creator. They will pay for what they did to her.
Okay, guys. So, I like very coordinated. Your game is insane. It looks
Thank
insane.
you.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Welcome to both of you. Thanks for joining. Can you please introduce yourselves to our audience, starting with on the left, I guess left if you're watching the stream. So, Nicola, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Nicola, and I'm the sound designer and composer, one of the sound designer and composers for Cookie Cutter. I've been on board since the very beginning of this adventure.
Hello, my name is
Pleasure to have you.
Stefano, and these people at Subcult had the really weird timing having me as a director and an artist. And yeah, we're together made Cookie Cutter with other 13 other beasts. And today we're here talking with these beautiful people who invite us.
Well, we're so happy you joined us. Thank you for joining. We're so happy to have you. Would love to get an idea of your journey so far, right? So the history of the studio, the history, you said 13 other beasts, 13 other amazing developers with you. So how did that start? Like, is this your first game? How did the team grow? Maybe you can give us a little intro.
Yeah, at the beginning it was me, Nicola, a writer called Raffaele Romano, and Francesco Bizzini, a programmer. We started like a game. Let's do something, let's have a prototype about something. I have this really cool character. Let's make animation for it. Let's try to make a little game out of it. And later we start getting really serious about it when we saw the potential. And so we start pushing it a lot in order to create a prototype. And in 1.5 years, 2 years, we were ready to find a publisher. Publisher already started knocking on our door back at that time. So we thought that it was a really good time to start knocking at them door.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of attention. We were lucky enough to have a lot of attention. We even had the attention of Konami at one point.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Amazing.
And in the end, we found the best publisher ever. And now we're working with Rogue Games. And we made this beautiful, crazy game. And people out there love it or they hate it. And it's so satisfactory to see how they will see the game, if they appreciate it, if they hate it. It's super interesting, and we're super proud of it.
Yeah, it looks incredible. And you told me that, yeah, the journey of finding a publisher was really interesting. At one point, you said Konami, but there's a bit more to the Konami story, right? It wasn't just one division of Konami. Can you tell the...
Yeah, it was
people
weird
about
because at some point I had a meeting with these people, and it was the first time I had the Konami office from Europe, the Konami's office from America, and the one from Australia. And I had a meeting with all of three of them, and I was unaware that there was a meeting with all of them. So I joined the meeting, and they told me this is the first time that all of the three offices have the same product at the office, and they're talking about it. So at the end, the majority partner, the Japanese one, decided to decline the offer, and we were out of business with them. But it was so cool to have their attention for a while, you know? And
That's
they
really
were
cool.
interested. It was super cool.
It's very validating also, like, okay, we definitely have something here.
We have something in our hands, yeah.
Yeah, God looked upon us and he liked us. Yeah.
We wouldn't really believe it at the beginning. When he told me I was on holidays, I was like, no, the guy's kidding me.
That's a good thing to come back to from your holidays. That's a nice
but
thing to
I
come
thought
back
he was.
to.
I thought he was just joking. I thought he was pumping me with some,
Are you just always messing with him? Is that why?
Yeah, we're messing with
Yeah.
each other all of the time. Yeah.
So you said at one point you were like building it and you realized, this is the game we want to make. What was that point? Like, what did that prototype look like? Do you have maybe something to show us or like to talk about?
Yeah, it was at some point when we were able to have all of the good animation in it, all of the right sounds, and all of the good controls in it. At some point when we had the main 13, 14 animation statues built on Unity, we noticed, you know what, it's really satisfactory to play with a controller. It's really smooth, it's really responsive. Maybe we can do a really fighting game, or maybe we can add exploration to it and make something more complex. And in the end, we all decided that, okay, let's do a Metroidvania. This is a cool idea. Let's see what happens. Let's put a lot of fighting in it because we love the stuff. But let's do a Metroidvania. You will explore, you will fight, and you will grow. Let's see what happens. But let's make it weird with this, with all of these weird flavors in it.
So you started from a very like artistic, but also like a toy approach. Let's just make it feel fun. Let's do what we do best, our art. Put them together and see what happens. And then it turned out to be I guess you all like Metroidvanias or something. And then you're like, hey, this would suit well for a Metroidvania.
Yeah, but better than that, let's have fun. The idea was to have fun and make the game we would love to make. So let's go with the music that we love, let's go with the style that we love, and let's see what happens. If we have fun, the game will be fun. That was the idea.
That's a great approach. And what was the like inspiration artistically, cinematically, games wise? Was it, when I look at this, a lot of things come to mind, but I'd love to hear from you.
It's a lot of things, actually. It comes from all over the place. Since we started, we had the seed of an idea, but each one of us put something by himself inside the project. So we started with a seed, and each one bring out of the seed his own direction until we were happy all together working at it. Mainly, the core that was made by me, the core of the core, comes from the mangas from the 90s, comic book. From music, a lot of cookie cutter is made by music-induced vision. There is one character called Poppa that it comes out from a Prodigy song. I was listening to Prodigy.
Which
I was
one?
trying Firestarter for sure.
Nice.
Because at the end, Poppa, it's one of the fuel starter. We call them fuel starter in the game.
Okay.
And everything, it comes from, we like to take inspiration from a lot of things, but to bring it inside and put it out with our own colors and flavor, you know? It's not like let's
perceive the things you love.
Yeah, it's not like let's take Castlevania and let's make a punk version of Castlevania. No, it's more like let's bring what we like and let's try to put it in this game in a way that it works.
Then it gets its own identity. Sorry, go ahead, Nicola.
No, that's particularly what you said. Like, we didn't want to put some other identity into our game. We wanted to take bits from other stuff and then put them together to create and identify one bespoke identity. Is that what you say usually?
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned to me before, and you just mentioned it again now, that it's really a game, I like how you phrase it, built on music. And of course, very handy that you have a sound designer on your team from the beginning, which doesn't always happen, right? Sometimes you get a sound designer at the end of the project just to throw in the sounds, but to build it from the core with a sound designer, I'd love to hear a bit about that game built on music concept.
I just tell you that at some point we were left alone. We had no more programmer, and we had a kind of prototype in our hand, and it was me and Nicola. We was left again by our fifth programmer. It was like, you know what, Nicola? Let's make something that is not a video game. You go around, and each room got a different music. You do the music, and I do, because we were so desperate, because it's tough to find a team, you know, and it's tough to find professional who really believe in your ideas and really want to work with you. Commitment, yeah. So at some point it was just art and music. After that, we start getting back a team and say, okay, maybe this weird trip can become a video game again now that we have a programmer and a game designer.
It's like an interactive music video that turned into a game, basically.
Yeah, and then again, you know, like we both come from a musical background. We both played in bands in our youth.
Yeah.
And so like we had this kind of need to make sure that the game would sound, not only because we wanted it to sound well, but because we wanted to communicate with music and with sound themselves. Like we wanted to be something on 360 degrees that takes your attention from visual to audio to storyline as well. Like it's something that we worked on quite a lot with.
But with an attitude, with like a punk rock or indie metal kind of attitude. That was the important thing. We can do music anymore. Let's do a video game about music.
And you can see it. You can feel that attitude in the game. So I want to start, like, I want to show people. I want to look at the game. Let's put some visuals on the screen. You have a video of your prototype that you mentioned, or one of the prototypes. So we have that. I'd love to put that up on screen so we can talk about that. There we go.
Yeah, these were like the really first stages. I were working with some Unity colleagues at this, and we had the sprites, and we were trying to make the sprite works. There is a bullet, a flying character, and a walking character, and Cherry idling while they colliding with platform. And at the beginning, the simple result was amazing for us. Like, whoa, our drawing can now collide with platforms, man.
It's exciting.
We're cool. And yeah, this was the beginning of the beginning. And from here, with a lot of blood, sweat, and pain, we reached the end of production with more professional on board until we got this beautiful stuff you can see right now.
Incredible. And just for people watching, maybe you could give the game synopsis. What the story of, I gave a quick intro in the beginning, but maybe you can go into a bit more detail. What's happening in this world?
Okay, the incipit of the story is a story about love and vengeance. You're Cherry, you're an android, a particular type of android called Denzel. In this world, the Denzels are robots that contains human souls inside, that disease human souls, that rules the AI of the android. So the robot is moved by this human soul, and this human soul can learn, can feel things. Starting from this idea, we create an android with an attitude, Cherry, and we make her grow in a love, beautiful environment. She was born by the scientist, she was built by the scientist, and super soon she discovered love. And after that, something really tragic happens to her, and now she's driven for vengeance. But this is just a context for us to show you the world build that we build. There is a world called Megastructure that it got its own rules. There is the void. There is this alien energy that gives power to this entire world. There is Infonet, the corporation that it's always one of the main flavor of a good cyberpunk, dieselpunk adventure.
Of course.
And Cherry starts this quest for love, and the player, if it's interested and curious enough, will discover what is around there.
Yeah, and just being able to hear you explain the game while looking at those visuals, so stunning. And I'm really happy we get to actually dive into it. Like, we're super zoomed in right now, and we're getting details of these sprites. And I think it's a perfect segue to jump into actually looking at those sprites in the editor. So for anyone who's new to the show, we're actually going to go live in the Unity editor and look at break this all down, so you can see how the sausage
it's crazy, man. The animation work was crazy because me and Damian Chancho, the other animator, or even Mind Chamber, the third animator, we were trying to push ourselves as best as animators. So we were aiming at Studio Ghibli or traditional Disney, for sure, they're really far away and we are here, but the direction was that one.
Yes. Okay.
So we push ourselves a lot, and we did this handmade animation that got a lot of details. They got shades, they got details, they got particles, and each one of these animation cost us from 8 to 48 hours. It was a huge work. And generally, you teach me that a game that contains a lot of animation is cranky because the animator wanted to flex the animation and to punish the gameplay. But no, we were equally attentive to having a really smooth gameplay. So all of this beautiful animation are really smooth when you have the controllers on your hand.
So like if an animation needs to be interrupted for the gameplay, it gets interrupted. If it needs to transition right away, you've built those transitions in. And that's why you said every character has about 20 to 40 animations. So let's look at it. Let's look at the editor. Let's look at the sprite sheets first, and then we'll dive into the animations.
Yeah, first thing first, I will show you this nightmare. This is actually Cherry. This is actually just Cherry Animator controller.
Okay, great.
In here we got everything. We got from simple animation to, for example, animation trees. For example, from the move. If we open move, we got walk and run. So there we got a lot of this. We got the normal attack, special attacks, abilities. This is just Cherry, and it's a lot of work for Cherry. Actually, we use a really cool tool because Unity already came out with a really good, it can handle really well the 2D animation sprite. I love how Unity make us and allow us to use 2D and build 2D sprite animation. But in order to have a little bit more of control over the animation, we even use this custom animation tool that allow us to simply drag the sprites in here to create the animation. We can set, for example, the timing of the animation. We're using 16 frames per second. And sometimes you can even add events to this. We're not using it anymore, but at the beginning, this tool comes with events that, I don't know, you can spawn a particles at this point of the animation. Sounds as well. Yeah. And as you can see, let me open this one up again. The level of details, no, I will not show you this. I will show you a cooler one. As you can see, the quality of the details, it was a lot of work. For example, Cherry, as all of the other enemies, she got the flat color, she got the shades, she got the highlights, but she even got tattoos. And every frame, you need to redraw the tattoos, you know?
Of course, yeah.
Imagine when you need to draw her 14,000 times. Every time the stupid tattoo again, the little lines on the skirt again. Oh, Jesus. And this is easy. Let me show you something even weirder and even more challenging.
Please. And this is not even like you're like, the arm is drawn separately from the body and you're moving the arm around. This is every frame is redrawn from scratch.
Yeah, this is traditional animation, 100%.
Damn.
Let me go.
Come on.
Little tattoo behind the hair as well, under the ear.
Yeah.
Oh, 1 month.
No, it's not common. It's this one. Okay, I will go like this, 2x3. Okay. Let me show you this.
Please.
So I will go to window, I will reopen the Power Sprite Animator, and I will dock it in our beautiful Unity. And I will show you a brutal. We used to call brutal the finishing special moves that allows you to brutalize enemies, no? So those are the most needy one. I will show you just one. So we will go to Cherry, Sprites. We will go to one column layout. That is my favorite setting. We'll look for Cherry again.
You changed all my layouts.
See, no, yeah, you can work on this project anymore now. Okay, in here we got the attack brutals. Okay,
nice.
this is too messy.
Wow.
But I will show you this. It's pretty gorish. I'm sorry, people out there.
Yeah, close your eyes if
it's
you're
too
not interested in the
gore. So
warning.
What you can see in here are a lot of frames, but actually we got Cherry with all of his with all of her shades and everything. But we even got Bakasura, the boss, in here.
Oh, so they're one sheet. They're not like matched together. You just redraw the whole thing for the glory.
I redraw all things, and during the brutal animation, both character are drawn together at the same sheet. You know,
Got it.
imagine, look at the details. There is the chrome of the gold. There is the highlight on the teeth. There is the lucid highlight on the eyes, and so there's cherry, and so there's particles. You can imagine what kind of work is this one, you know?
Yeah, it's just insane. And it's noticed by the players and by the audience, you know? It's not gone unnoticed.
I'm so happy about it because, again, we were challenging ourselves, not just for the sake of flexing it, but because we wanted to learn the discipline of animation, and we wanted to do something cool, something that was really satisfying for us and even for the player. We tried as much as possible to make it satisfying to execute a brutal and yada yada yada.
And which tool were you using to draw the animations?
Photoshop.
This is a very good question.
Yeah, were you doing frame by frame in Photoshop?
Yeah. Actually, one guy told me that it's like to sculpt a statue with a spoon. They told me that I was super stupid to do it, and they're right. But at the end, I still made the game, and I was so comfortable, and I was so able to work with Photoshop in a smooth way that I was even faster than the professional who use professional tool, because I got all of the key outs, all of the hotkeys configured, so I was really, really fast in producing these things, you know?
Amazing. And then you would export each frame as a PNG, or what was it? You didn't like create a full sprite sheet, cut it up, and put it into this tool that you made? Or what was the process?
Yeah, this is what you will see. This is what we have. So this is an uppercut attack you can do with the motorbike. So you will have, for example, in here, instead of having a 16 by 16 cell divided sprite, because I needed a lot of space because she produced a bike.
Yes.
Yeah, she produced. So I used 4 cells for each frame. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Yeah, there's 5 sheets out of this, you know. But this one is 16 by 16, for example. And after that, I will manually import it in Unity, cut it with the Unity sprite to the tool, and import it in the game with the tool that I showed you before. Building in there, and bam, the game is done. Creating the animation and the animation in the animator, and the game was done.
Perfect. And for what about for the massive? Yeah, exactly. For like when you're fighting a boss, that's also just done all in one sheet.
Yeah, for example, this is a boss finisher, and the boss is 4K, so this texture is huge. Right now we reduced it to 4K, but it was 8K drawing it. And again, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 sheet for this finisher. I don't think this is even the correct way of doing things, you know, but this was our way. The way it worked, you know. And when we, at the end of the production, were able to optimize the project, we compress all of this texture in an atlas, and that it makes miracles, you know.
Really?
The game, it was really, really life-saving for us. The atlases.
Amazing, and you were able to do it without all the slowdown and anything. It was It worked. It was optimal.
It was optimal. It was easy to export the game for all of the consoles. Right now, we're working on all the gen consoles, and with the atlases, we were able again to go to Switch and have really solid FPS and have really good visuals, because Switch is one of the most cool console out there, but it's old now, you know.
It's harder to get things on there.
Yeah,
but you were able to, so that's incredible. Full multi-platform game, And then, so is that everything for the animations, or do you have maybe more with, like, do you use timeline at all, or the animation, like maybe?
I will show you show you a really cool thing, because this is a fighting game, and in order to have all of these moves, this combo work, we created a really, really interesting custom tool called the graph combo, the action graph. Let's see if this computer allow it to open, because it's really heavy.
You just did a mistake.
Really? Okay, maybe I will close it. Let's see. Let me try it.
The action graph is not having a good time.
Okay, I will show you briefly just this
if you don't move
sheet.
around too much, it's gonna allow us.
Okay.
Okay, fingers crossed.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Okay, with this system, we were able to...
I think you'll need to dock it for us to see it, because right now I think you're sharing the window, so we don't see what you're
Is the green
pointing
or
at.
the...
No, devi bloccarlo perché altrimenti non si vede.
Like this, can you see me?
No, perché loro vedono la finestra di Unity, devi toccare qua.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second, it's almost done.
No worries. Everyone's just appreciating the art while we're waiting.
By the way, with this system, we were able to create the sprites and to combine. For example, in this animation, I can assign an hitbox, and this hitbox can, for example, be inactivated from this time to this time.
Wow.
He can produce this kind of damages. He can produce this kind of reaction on enemies.
Yeah. Can we make that screen a bit bigger so we can see it?
Yeah, sure.
This could be asking too much.
Oh, it might cry. Yeah, I see.
No.
It's a sound production facility. This one.
I'm pretty.
It's black at the moment. Oh, there we go. Okay. Hey.
So
this is a tool you made.
This is a tool the programmer made, Francesco Bizzini. He's amazing. Nice. It was the only programmer in the team, and he was able to create all of the system, the dialogue, the combo graph, the achievement, everything.
Wow.
So for each sprite, we can assign a lot of stuff, We can decide if you need, for example, these moves need a jump counter, these moves deplete some resources from you or require some resources from you. Like the mana, we're using this mana that is called Void. It is a mana energy. And for example, if we're lucky enough, we can even see the collision activating. No, because this animation don't have collision. By the way, we can configure everything out of this. And it was really
Sprite,
helpful.
you're doing configurations from sprite to sprite to sprite?
From sprite to sprite to sprite. For example, if a combo is 3 attack, can you please close this one? If a combo have 3 attacks, you can decide at what time pressing the button it will move you to the next combo.
Wow.
You can configure what kind of damage, everything, all of the little things.
Where is the collision on the sprite for each sprite, right? That as well?
It's in here, it's in this windows. I can show you right now, but it's in the same windows. You can see from the preview. See, and you can assign from it all of the stats. Yeah, I'm sorry because this one is really needy as a tool. So
yeah, it's a bit heavy, but that's fine.
Yeah,
I think we're getting the idea behind it. That's incredible. Yeah, thanks for showing us that. So from there, I guess the integration of everything, the gameplay to the animation. So that sprite tool was kind of bringing the sprites to the animation, and then this tool is taking the animation once the sprites are already in, and like what is happening at every moment. How do the things interact with each other? Where are the colliders? How much that basically all the gameplay happens there, and then you can just change it on the fly if you need to.
Definitely, yeah.
I love this. It's very nice. I guess, is this a good time to move to lighting, or is there more to show with animation here?
No, it's fine. We can move to lighting.
Perfect. Sure. Was there something else we wanted to see?
No, for us it's fine.
We're good. Okay, cool. So yeah, let's jump right into the 2D lighting then. And I know the scenes are beautifully lit, so let's check out some of that.
Oh yeah, we got 10 areas in the game. It's actually 9 areas, and they're huge. In order to make it beautiful and diverse, we opted to use sprites. I will show you how. But not just that, we just use even more things. For example, this is one of the scenes. As you can see, we misplace items in the Z-axis. So you will have foreground elements, background elements, and really far away elements,
Yes.
When we start building all of this, we had a couple of assets that allow us to build each one of the area. Let's say that each one of the area got 30 unique assets, okay? And it was beautiful. We try to make our best to make them different enough. Sometimes we achieve to make really good, different, diverse environments. Sometimes not. We're still learning and we're super proud about it. But the most cool things that we were able to do using Unity was the was called back at time experimental light.
Yeah.
Experimental light are really good lights. There are 2Ds, and they actually color your assets in order to create what it's look like light.
Yeah.
They are so good that in some instances they can look like how do you call that kind of lights of new generation? Volumetric lights can be.
Yeah, volumetric. That's right.
They really look like new gen volumetric lights. While what
In
they're
2D.
doing, yeah, in 2D, it's amazing. They're really easy to use, and we abuse out of these lights. I want to be sincere. It was not the plan, but we abuse of it. We have hundred and thousand of these lights for each area, but the performance are still good. Maybe we can do something for Switch because again we abused it, but it worked really, really, really well. Plus, when you use this kind of light, you can decide which layer you want this light to affect. We got 4 different layers. Default, that is where the character stands and the platform stands. Default should always be visible. In this game, Cookie Cutter, even if you squint your eyes looking at the screen, you can always see where you can walk. Yeah. Squint your eyes and you will see on this black that the platforms are clear.
Yeah.
So default are the most important things for us. So there is background lighting that illuminates the background just to create the mood. So there is far away lighting to create the vista. So the skies, the radiation in the sky, and yada yada. And so the foreground lights that just affect the elements that are on the foreground of the scene.
Oh, I see. Okay.
With just this system and with just these 4 layers of light, we were able to create beautiful environments. Some of these are really good. Some of these are meh. But you know what? We're doing our best. So sue us.
I think they all look good. So, all right, audience. Well, yeah, I feel like lighting is everything. And so putting the time and effort into that changes how the game looks entirely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the beautiful things about this that they were experimental lights back at time is that you can animate them, so you can have buzzing lights. Again, imagine that you want to misplace elements in the background and using lights, you can create really interesting environments.
Yeah.
With really.
Yeah. How are you? You said buzzing lights. How are you doing the animation for the lights?
It's super simple. You select the light. You go to the animation window, you create another animation, and you play with intensity 0, 9, 0, 9, 0, 9.
And then you copy that animation onto the other lights if you want other ones, and you're
we created like 4 kind of lights: buzzing strong, buzzing light, buzzing super strong. And with this one, we created different effects out there, or fading. The lights can fade like slowly. So we need to remember that the player is driven by light. If you don't always understand this when you play, because it's like automatic mechanism, but if the player see the lights in a tunnel, he will go there. If everything is dark and the light, you walk towards the light. Yeah. As in life. You
die, you see a light, you walk towards the light. This is how it so okay, thank you for showing us that. It's really incredible. And again, we were talking about earlier how the game is built on sound, and I think now is a good time to look at the SFX in the game. You have some videos for us. Maybe you can just give us a quick intro, Nicola, talking about the concept for the SFX implementation behind the game, and we'll play the videos once you cue them.
Yeah, so basically, sorry, I need to stop him sometime because it's hyperactive. So basically, what I really wanted to do since the very beginning was to follow more or less the same concept Stefano did for the visuals, but transposed into the audio environment of the game. So while Stefano did this crazy thing of drawing everything by his own hands and animating each part of the game, I made sure that every sound was handcrafted by me initially, and then we partnered with a studio in Rome. It's called Studio 256, who helped us composing the music and some of the sound design. So every sound you will find in game is made with these beautiful hands, and also Paolo, Valerio, and Luigi's end, recording stuff, breaking shit, playing, like synthesizing stuff with music with synthesizer. We just wanted the sound environment to be as unique as as what you see on screen.
Just as handcrafted as the animations,
exactly. And that's as far as regards the sound. Talking about music, we wanted to add the same level of craziness that Stefano put into the world of Cookie Cutter. So, like, the music tries to follow the same, at the same time, classical and weird style that's associated with the video. So the music you will find in there as an hint of metal music, which is nothing special, but then it's mixed up with electronic music and orchestra and classical stuff, all mixed together to make it sound as weird as we possibly could. I remember like Stefano telling most of the revision we would do about the audio, like, this is good, but can you make it weirder?
I feel like that's for everything this game. One of your like game pillars was weird. Just the word weirder.
Like, even the like, initial extraction, like we have this animation, we did some sound for this, make it weird. Like, and I would usually say, like, it's everything weird. Like, do we want to have some sort of variation from the weirdness of
it's just weird.
No, it has to be weird.
Did you ever reach a point where like, yes, this is weird enough? I guess that's when you shipped. You're like,
no,
you know what,
I don't think we got.
Still not weird enough. No,
no. I don't think we ever got to a point where Stefano was satisfied with the weirdness.
Because the idea is not to go weird for the sake of it. The idea is just to let's explore something new. You know,
right?
The Metroidvania formula is really old, and we weren't able to change the gameplay formula in order to create a really innovative Metroidvania. But let's make it visually and audiovisually. Let's make it visually and audiovisually really weird. Not weird, but original. Let's try to find something
unique.
It had to have, like, we wanted it to have character, no matter if it's the visuals, the sound, the story itself. Even Raffaele like put a lot of effort into creating a story that sounds standard. It's a story about revenge, but then again, there are weird bits into it. Like, if you go through all the terminals and read all the lore, you'll find weird stuff that somehow sound familiar. And we wanted this concept to be in the music, in the sound design, in the visual effects, in the story, all around the game, all around the Cookie Cutter world. You find all of this little familiar weird element.
Right. Yeah, and if you're not going for the weird and you're not exploring, like you said, you're not going to end up with something unique. So we have some videos that you shared with us of the sound process. So we'll play, and maybe you can talk us through what's going on.
Yeah. So this is part of the studio in Rome. This specific, I believe, is Valerio. We used a lot of analog gear to record the synthetic sound, and we played through most of the game. All the soundtracks are created by each level as a sound concept that will accompany you from the beginning of the level till the boss fight. And each song, let's say, is divided into different level of intensity depending on what you're doing. Mostly you will be exploring, platforming, or fighting around the level. So for each level, there is a different level of intensity for the music. It's called music for exploring, something relaxing that will, like, show you around, as we like to say. There is a bit of intense music that will help you platforming around, and there is the extremely intensity for fighting and boss fight. This is Luigi, the audio director, while he's playing all his beautiful toys.
So cool. What is that?
Yeah, and this in the specific, I don't know if you hear the audio, but we also had to make some special tunes for some special character. In this specific instance, he's playing the theme for Poppa. So we wanted to give some of the character you meet in game a special tune, just to make sure like the player can identify not only the character but also the atmosphere that is around him. And yeah, this is basically what we did.
Nobody know the name of that instrument, by the way.
That's a Rolly Seaboard.
No, not even you. Not even Luigi.
I'm just making up the name.
They just found it on the street and were like, let's use this.
Let's play this.
Let's see how it plays out. And yeah, so this is the main concept. We also wanted it to have a little bit of improvisation, so you'll see that, or just make sure that the player doesn't get bored with all the same music. Make sure that during implementation there are different parts of the same song looping in a random way. So like the moment you step into Papa's room and you start talk to him, you will hear Luigi doing a beautiful solo, and then 2 minutes after there is another part with another beautiful solo, and then there is a loop, there is a verse, and everything is alternating seamless. It is another little overview of all the analog gear we try to implement within the game.
A lot of buttons.
Yeah, some of the button views. And this is the boss fight section of the mines. Yes, this song specifically for Bakasura, we had to look deeply into our heads in order to find something that was
suits this.
Yeah, because like the concept within the Bakasura boss fight was something that had to sound weird, aggressive, but especially like cringing enough. So we had to put a lot of effort into what we did. And this is pretty much all about music. There should be some other videos that I wanted to show you a little bit about the sound design. Because
this is cool. I love this.
This is my little hidden lab where I created most of the sounds within the Cookie Cutter atmosphere. I recorded this into my. It's like the backyard of my house, and I thought since the word into Cookie Cutter is like a decadent word, everything is falling apart. I wanted something that sounded as broken as the word, you see. So I went into the workshop and I asked the guys in Rome to do the same. We found all the most broken things we could find. We put the sound into the box, and then starting from there, using synthesis, using sound design techniques, we created a strong and unique audio concept that then is characterizing the sound.
And a library of sounds.
Yeah, like sounds. I have gigabytes of sounds.
Of all of this? Oh my god. I'm sure you didn't use all of them, but like you had to sort through them to find the right ones.
Yeah, it was a nice adventure. This is Paolo breaking up stuff
after dinner. He was upset.
Dinner wasn't good.
Yeah, and yeah.
And for I guess a lot of people will be curious what equipment you used for recording the sounds.
Pretty standard microphones. We didn't go for anything special. Condenser mic. I have myself Rode microphone. I'm not sure about the guys in Rome, but they have, you name it, whatever gear it's needed. We made sure everything was preamped by most modern gear, and we put specific attention into monitoring because like Luigi, the audio director, is a huge fan of audio quality. Can we say that?
Yeah, it's crazy about audio quality. The guy is crazy about audio quality.
So we all have this audio speaker. The brand is called the S Factory, and we made sure that everything had the right amount of quality. For us was extremely important. We knew that the style was gonna be there, like in a way or another. We knew that style was covered. So one of the reasons why we involved Luigi was to make sure that the audio quality was already part of was also involved. Another thing I really wanted to mention, that Luigi accepted to work with us and the studio as well, the Studio 256, at the condition that he is running a school of sound in Rome, at the condition that we could involve in the project some of his students. So part of the sound and part of the music, so the assistance of the students, because we know that making music, like doing this career in video games, it's difficult, especially at the beginning. So we wanted to involve some people, that some of its students, and give them like a little bit of credit in the development of the game.
Yeah, at the end of the day, we got a lot of students from the school working at the project, and we're so honored to have them on board because they skilled and they make beautiful things with us.
And they have so many fresh ideas, students, I think underestimated with how much they bring to the table, because it's like they're bursting with creativity and they want to put it out there.
And the will to work. We tend to underestimate the will some people have, especially when it's difficult to get into some, into the field. So as soon as Luigi told me that, I said, like, we are 100%.
You had flashbacks to when you were starting out, trying to get your first job in sound design. I think it's one of those things where, especially with sound design, because I know some sound designers who it's their first job is always the hardest, second a bit hard too, but then the work starts rolling in. But it's those first few jobs that are just so hard to land, right?
Yeah,
There's not a
definitely.
huge demand maybe for the number of sound
If you ask me,
designers.
I think we are too many, way too many. but no, seriously, like it's very competitive out there.
It's
So
competitive,
it's
yeah.
good to find someone who's willing to share a bit of the workload and give a bit of credit to the environment out there.
Definitely. Thank you so much for sharing all of that, honestly. And we promised at the start of the show to talk a bit about the business side of things. I think we've explored the art of cookie cutter. So I want to hear, you told me you had some difficulties, challenges in development. Who doesn't, but let's explore those. And your journey finding a publisher, ending up with Rogue Games, which is a very interesting publisher. So I'd love to hear more about that journey. And yeah. Please.
Do you want to talk about business, son? Let's
Yes,
talk
I wanna
about
talk about
business. Let's
do
talk
it.
about business. So yeah, mainly when the product was ready and the prototype was made, as I said, publishers start coming to us, and I start go to them. I had lot of interview with them, and I had to learn how to handle the interview and how to do the businessman thing. Lucky for me, my wife is super smart, so she can handle the adult thing while I can handle the stupid thing. But I did the artistic thing. But I did all of the interview by myself. And the problem with Cookie Cutter is that it's a weird product. Our main character is weird. There's a lot of sexual reference. There is drug reference. There is swearing. There is violence. There is a lot of ingredients that is not the most appealing when you want to create a product that goes out there and have a really good marketing and can become a hit. Mm-hmm. But I didn't care a lot because I didn't do this game for becoming rich. I did this game because I wanted to do it and I feel like I wanted to do it. So I started having meeting with publisher, and some of them, they had problem with the main character. Yeah, but maybe we should redesign the main character. And I said, nope. Maybe we should change the name. Name sounds stupid. Nope. Maybe, it's weird. One of the coolest things, and I got this a lot, it's weird that all of this game is drawn by a dude. It was one of the things, and I was like, okay, nope.
Do you want to tell them how they call us?
Yeah, they told us that we were feminist, like extremist feminist group that want to destroy the patriarchy with the new model of woman. No, man, there's no politics.
You're told all these things by publishers? That's great.
Yeah, everyone. And the most interesting feedback was about Regina. There is one of our character that is placed in the crotch of the main character. Is actually a talking vagina. We didn't do it for having a sick joke in the game. We did it because, again, we wanted to go weird, but with an extreme respect of the vision. She's an AI, she's placed there, and she looked like that, but it's a really important character in the story. And these things make a couple of them go cringe, and a couple of them say, no, this is a no-go. Finally, I met Rogue Games. They were on board about everything, the violence, the sexual aspect of it, the groove of it. They were the only one really understanding our roots. We didn't talk about the game or business. We talk about music, new metal, punk rock.
Nice.
They got everything about the game.
Along.
They knew why I chose those design. They knew that there was a NoFX reference in there. They knew there was a Metallica reference in there. And they wanted the game as it is right now. They want us to push on the gas until the end. And they were on board with everything. We started they're like bros, man. They're like bros, man. We started the development in a professional way. And already at mid-development, we were like beasts. We were joking about stupid things that you don't say in public, and we're really professionally continued working, but we're actual feeling, talking, and living the entire things like bros.
That's so nice.
It's really good. Nice. It's really good. I was scared about the publisher idea, but after this experience, I should have said that publishers are not all bad. You need to do a business deal with these people. So you can be the best artist out there, you can have the best game out there, but you need to learn to do business if you're an indie developer and you want to have a deal with publisher. And a deal with publisher, it's important because these people will give you visibility, these people will give you power and will give you the tools to become a commercial product.
Yeah, but you're warning people maybe not to compromise too much, or else they'll lose the essence of what they were making from.
They need to be comfortable doing a deal, a business deal with somebody they feel they can be a good partner, and this is not easy. I don't advise you nothing. I'm too stupid to advise people things, but this is how it is. It's a business deal, and you need to learn how to do that. Otherwise, you will get damaged about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I have some bad news for you because we usually end the show with a final takeaway, maybe a final lesson for like the people who are looking to kind of.
The final takeaway is
journey.
if he made it, you can do it for sure.
Okay, that's fair. I guess so. But
Bye!
No, sorry. I just had to say
I love
that.
it.
But,
No, that's great.
This is true.
But yeah, maybe something from each of you that you want to tell someone who also wants to go on this journey from each of you, and then we'll thank the audience. And we'll...
Okay, you start. I talk too much.
I said mine.
Okay.
What was yours?
Seriously, it's a tough word. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun work. I worked for 10 years in business environment before to jump into design, and I never felt so realized as I'm feeling right now, even though I work twice as much as I did before. There is a lot to learn every day. You really need to commit, but if you really want to do it, the door is always open pretty much everywhere. Like I said it as a joke, but we are nowhere close to any kind of business
Or smart people in general.
yeah, but we managed to release a game, and it's a weird game. So it shows that with a little bit of hard work, you can really get there easily.
Yeah. This is really cool. And I will add, preserve yourself, because this is a kind of work that really push your boundaries to the maximum. You need to sacrifice a lot of your free time, a lot of your family time, a lot of your lover time. And at some point you will become overcome by work if you're so passionate. So do it, and do it having fun, and do it thousands of times, but always preserve yourself, because we're human being and we're social being, and we need to go out there, play with other animals, play with other people, and don't destroy our mental health working 15 hours a day.
That's good advice.
Young people, listen to me.
Honestly, guys, thank you. Well, this was so much fun and so useful to everyone watching and to me. Really, you took so much time. I know how deep in all of this you still are, even though you released the game. So everybody who's watching, go support Cookie Cutter. We've been dropping links to the game in the chat. They have their link tree. Go follow them on social. Wishlist the game, but don't wishlist it. Buy it. It's out. But keep watching it. Yeah, exactly.
3 copies each.
Buy everything. Buy it on all the
5 copies
consoles.
each. Make me rich. I want to be the next Kardashian.
Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you
Thank you to the
guys.
audience for sticking with us. All right, ciao everyone, see you next time.
Bye, son. I love you.